test we're taking?
Which is exactly the same thing.
On the OST.
Isn't it usually 20-some each day?
Why did it kick me out?
It didn't like you.
Select.
You didn't do the right instruction.
Skip. Begin.
Thank you.
All right. In all seriousness, as you get to a problem, if you get confused or stuck on your paper, write it down. Say, come back to it. Put a note. Practice doing that. All right. You're going to have a formula sheet, but in case something happens, okay, it spontaneously combusts in the middle of the test, and it's like, all right, you can click up here, which would be pretty entertaining. And I'm sure you wouldn't be like, oh, I'll just move on if that happened. But you can click on the formula button. It'll bring the reference sheet up. You may scroll through it.
Shut up.
I will not. Look at that. The good old quadratic formula. What else? Oh, the calculator that we've been practicing with. The Desmos calculator.
Whatever says calculator. Hey,
Notes.
guys, calculate Desmos. Anytime we want to what? Graph anything, or what's the solution? What are the x's? Solution of systems and equations. Graph it. Desmos.
The computer can be typing truthful.
Truthful.
I was about to say it. Truthless.
Yeah. A hard Monday for you.
It is.
Oh, look, the note's still there.
Did you go to Florida?
No.
I hear it's
You're
beautiful.
supposed to go to Florida and you went to Columbus?
I hear Columbus is beautiful this time of year.
What happened in Florida?
We just got canceled. Like, there was no other flight we could get on.
Oh, I'd be wanting that. Would you go?
Easy.
You don't want to say that now?
All right, next. You can zoom in.
Sorry, Zach, I lost my.
You can zoom out. The main thing I want you guys to use is the calculator. So you all have that open right now?
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, we're not going to use it on this problem. Let's scroll.
5y
What question are we on?
minus
Right now I'm on 3.
I'm on that one too.
Hmm?
I'm on that one too.
Are you?
Yeah.
Are you?
I think we should pick
So let's say you forget how to do this problem. Okay. What if you have this problem right here? 5y minus 2x equals 5.
Cracking every problem.
5y minus 2x equals 5. Wasn't it?
Yeah.
Could you solve for y? 5y equal, add 2x to both sides. 2x plus 5, divide by 5, divide by 5. Y equals 2/5 x plus 1. You could plug in an x and get out a y. Yes?
Yeah.
What would be a good x to plug in?
3.
2.5.
0.
2.5.
What about 0? 0 for x.
2.5.
What's 0 times 2/5? Plus 1.
Put your lip on.
Y equals 1 when x is 0. Who has another point for me? Grade N.
Negative 2.50.
Negative 2.50. Let's test it. Negative 2.5 times 2/5. You would need a calculator. Parentheses are on the 2/5. Mm-hmm.
-1.
-1 plus 1. 0. He is correct. Okay. Mark it down the calendar. All right. So
What?
You know, dude.
What does that mean?
I do.
Wait, what does that mean?
Like it's a memorable date when Braden's right about something.
Oh.
It's a memorable date. Mark it on the calendar.
I use Desmos.
Oh man, he is on fire. Ready?
Guys, use Desmos.
5y. What is it?
Hey, I said
Minus 2x equals
I said use
5.
Desmos.
Enter.
no. You said, I said 0, negative, or 0.
Hey, look, there are your answers.
There's the brain image point.
0, 1.
Negative 2.50. We've got 0, 1. We got. Oh, I wouldn't list that point.
2.5.
I wouldn't list that point. Do you see how you should use your intercepts? Right? Otherwise, it's going to get really ugly. I don't know if they're going to accept that. Use the intercepts. Does that make sense? So could you solve it by hand? Yeah. Do you see how there's a lot of opportunity to mess up a step when I solved it by hand?
Yeah.
Moving on. By the way, we're going to hit the high points today.
Hey guys, anytime it asks for an ordered pair, man, you got to think right away Desmos. It's almost cheating.
I want to do this one with you guys. An incomplete table of values for an exponential function is shown. The exponential function is of the form y equals, on your piece of paper right now, put number 4, problem number 4, write y equals a times b to the x. Where a is a real number and b is a positive number not equal to 1. Complete the table with possible values for the exponential function. All right, we have to come up with the table of values. When x is, they only gave us 1 point. When x is 0, y is 96. Do you see how, like, if most of you did not have a piece of paper out, like, do you agree, if you're on the state test on your computer, it's very easy to just kind of keep going through questions and trying to not write things down on the paper. Do you agree with that? Like, I don't know why, but that's just the way students do sometimes. Don't be that person. All right. When x is 0, y is 96. What's that going to give me? By the way, do you guys agree when we write an equation, the y will stay in it, the x will stay in it, the a and b will be numbers, yes? Like, for example, when we do y equals mx plus b, give me an example of a line. Y equals 3x plus 5. What did I fill in? The m and the b. But the equation kept x and y, right? Do you agree with that? So what are we doing here? Well, what do I plug in 0 into?
A.
What?
B.
Guys, this is an x and a y, right? Look. X, 0. Y, 96. What goes in for y? 96 equals a times b to the 0. Does anybody know what b to the 0 is?
Everybody show it.
1.
What, type in 3 to the 0, 4 to the 0, 10 to the 0. 1 million to the 0.
Oh, that's a lot of zeros.
It's 1. I hate to break it to you. It's 1.
Oh.
Anything is 0 plus 1.
So ready? 96 equals
It's 1.
a times 1. What's a?
1. I mean, 96. A. You said what's A, right? A is A.
Yeah.
A is A.
96 equals A, so therefore A is 96.
B to the 0 is 1, right?
Yeah.
We're trying to solve for A. What do we get for A?
96.
96. A is 96. So I'm back up to this equation. Y equals 96 times B to the no X. We're trying to fill listen, if I gave you an X and a Y here and I asked you to write the equation, you wouldn't plug in the numbers for X and Y. You'd leave it X and Y. A and B are numbers. Everything else stays a variable, X and Y. All right, what else? Do we have enough information to solve this? What's the key word here? Complete the table with possible values. Possible values. So not anything you want, but what does it have to follow? Like what if you say, you know what, I'm just going to let B, what should we let B equal?
2.
Does that fulfill the rule they said? B is a positive number not equal to 1. Yeah, if you would have said 1, I'd say no. Could be equal to. Yeah. So what if we do y equals 96 times 2 to the x?
Yep.
List possible values. Ready? When x is 1, what's our y? When x is 1, y equals 96 times 2 to the first power times 2. What's that?
192.
192, right?
Yep.
So in this table, we type in 192. Now, back to the moral of the story. Can I type in whatever I want? Under 2 and under 3? No, I already picked B as 2. I have to stick with that rule. Ready? Y equals 96 times 2 to the, what's x now?
2.
Second power. Type that in. Order of operations. Have to square 2 first, then times 96. 384?
Yeah.
384. Man, it's almost like this is growing exponentially.
Why would 384?
Huh? It's not pi day yet. Next. Y equals 96 times 2 to the third. 270. 3? What is it?
768.
7. Oh, yeah.
768.
Now, what if we would have chosen A? By the way, A had to be 96. Do you agree?
Yep.
A had to be 96. What if someone would have said 96 times 3 to the x? They'd have different values. And that's okay. They said, what are possible values? Yes?
Yep.
All right. Next.
No,
We didn't do anything like this, did we?
grams over centimeters cubed.
This one is
All you need to know is if density is mass over volume, which unit would be the most appropriate for calculating the density of the rock in Michelle's hand? So, like, what if it said she's traveling at so many miles per hour? Wouldn't the units be miles per hour? So what do you measure? Distance we measure miles, time we measure hours. What about density? What do you measure mass in?
grams.
Over, what's the volume?
Centimeters cubed.
This is grams.
B.
Grams over centimeters cubed?
Yeah.
And the key, I guess, is small rock. You wouldn't measure in kilograms and cubic meters or tons. Do you guys agree that's narrowing it down as part of it? Part of it is getting rid of some of the units of measure that just aren't appropriate for a small rock, pebble, sorts. Let's see. I'm gonna let you guys try this one on your own. Let's see which direction you head.
Want this up here?
You want this one, Mr. Park?
I will take it.
Yes, yes, Matthew. Ready for that.
3x. I forget how to do this. This is you.
What's the first step, Leah? What are you gonna do?
I
Come on.
did the parentheses first.
There's nothing to do in there.
Or like yeah, I took the 12. That's it.
What's that called?
Distributive property.
Okay, what do you got?
I got 12x plus 60 equals 4x.
Okay, there's only 4x over here, so what do we do?
Add 12.
Gotta take the 12x over. How do you do that? How do you do that, Logan? Subtract 12x from both sides. I almost said subtract, so I'm like Elmer Fudd. What do you got? Alexis, what do you got? Keep going. Did you say divide what?
60 and negative 7.5.
Yes?
Yes.
Si, senor.
Anybody Desmos that?
You could.
Oh, I think I did.
Put it on Desmos.
I was thinking about
I
it.
don't remember how to do it.
I was thinking about it.
What do we got?
I forgot that keyboard was there, Mr. Park. Thank you for reminding me.
You are welcome.
Is it? What can I say? Except for
Don't we have to? We'd almost have to put y, wouldn't we? Equals y. Or
beside the sun.
You'd have to graph them on two separate lines.
oh, you would?
I
Yeah, you couldn't do. So you have to do the other one
and
too.
then 4x. Y equals 4x.
What's that?
And then y equals 4x.
You got the sun.
It didn't hit it, did it? Did it? Yeah,
Right.
there it is. -7.5. That's kind of crazy to do, but you could have. Hey guys, if it, okay, come on. If it's equations, stuff on both sides, just write two of them. What? Both of them equal y. Where they intersect, there's your x. -7.5. Okay. What do we got here? Value of several terms in sequence are shown in the table. Find the first term. Schwarzwald? Two, five, four. Could you just do ordered pair? Couldn't.
Trying to figure out if it's arithmetic first, maybe. Geometry. So, on your paper, write down, like, in terms, because we have the second term, we have the fourth term, we have the seventh term, we're trying to find the first term, right? Do you understand that's what it's asking when it says f of 1?
Mm-hmm.
So write 1, and then 2, and then 3, 4, and then 5, 6, 7, all the way up to 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The first term, we're going to put a question mark. That's the one we're trying to find. Second term is 5. Then skip to the fourth term. What is it? And then the seventh term.
22.5.
Now, we don't know whether this is arithmetic or geometric. Do you remember the difference? Arithmetic sequences. Huh? Addition, subtraction, right? There's a common difference. Geometric? Woogie, woogie, woogie. Yeah?
Common factor.
Yeah, factor. Times something, times something, times something.
So you can go 3.5.
That would be a point, right?
I think it's. So let's try. I think you're adding 3.5, right?
So do you guys see that 5 and 12 are 2 terms apart? So if it's arithmetic, they should be this, like if you took the total distance from 5 to 12 and cut it in half, you find out how much they go by every time, right?
Yep.
Which is what?
3.5, yeah.
You got it. 5.
So what's 12 plus 3.5, guys?
15.5.
Plus 3.5. What's that? 19.
It would be 1.5.
Then plus 3.5. So what's the first term? So what would I do? Minus, what's 5 minus 3.5?
1.5.
There she is.
So do you see how, I mean, again, writing that out, very important. Don't just try to like do it in your head.
Why aren't you writing?
Real quick, do you remember what the formula is? Is this on the formula sheet? I don't think it is. Arithmetic. The nth term of an arithmetic sequence. That's an A. Yes, yes, yes. So the nth term, like the seventh term, the 10th term, whatever, is the first term plus the common difference, 3.5, times n minus 1. All right. That's your formula for finding those. System of equations.
Great.
What are we going to use, guys?
This much.
So easy. I
Guys,
mean, you could do elimination, you could do substitution,
heck no.
or you could do graphing.
Guys, once you're practicing Desmos, just put them both in Desmos. How they are, it's Guys, this is like this is literally stealing a question.
You get fined for it?
Stealing candy
You could.
question.
You could go to jail.
What equals-
Ever watch the was it the Celtics? Did we watch that yesterday? NBA fans? Nobody?
Ethan.
Who?
Ethan.
Did you watch it?
Yeah.
What do you think about Kyrie?
I don't know. Back at Cleveland.
Huh?
I wish he's back at Cleveland.
Really? I don't. You didn't see what he did?
I saw it.
What he done?
They were getting on him, right? They were saying, so he decided just to flip the crowd off numerous times. I mean, does he understand he's on TV? They just don't care. It's like unbelievable. All right, what'd you guys get? What'd you get, Samara? 3-4? Is everybody good with that? Did everybody get 3-4?
Yeah.
Does everybody understand how we go to Desmos right away on this problem? Yes? Functions given. Oh. Use the add point tool to plot the zeros and the maximum minimum. Man, there's a couple ways we could do this one.
I Desmos it up right away.
Absolutely. Guys, Desmos it. Desmos it. Okay, we're going to get a parabola, right? Okay, this is going to be a parabola. You should get it on Desmos where it hits the zeros are going to be what? Where it hits the what, guys? The x-axis, and you guys know the plot the maximum minimum. What's another word for maximum minimum of a parabola? The vertex. Good. That the vertex. Vince, what'd you get, buddy? Where are the zeros at?
0, 1, 0, 3.
Okay, 0, 1 or 1, 0? Okay, so guys, add a point. Is that very good? That's one of my zeros. What's the other one? 3, 0. And what's your vertex, Vince? What's the location of that? 2, -2 right here. Now, do you guys understand? Let's say how to get rid of a point. Should be able to do that. There you go. Let's say you put it in the wrong spot. Just hit delete, then click on that point. Add a point. 2, was it 2, -2? There you go. Did you have to do any work but put it in Desmos? No.
I would just be careful. I mean, we get so used to using Desmos. Remember, they can't grade you based on your Desmos work.
Mm-hmm.
You have to put those points there, right?
Yes.
I mean, clicking on it in Desmos, it almost feels like we solved it. You have to convert it over here.
You have to put it over there.
Something else they like to do. I looked ahead into some of these questions. If they say, what are the zeros? All you need to say is x equals 1, x equals 3. Okay?
Yes.
They're not going to ask you this. If they say zeros, they already know. Like, they know that you should know the y value is 0. You don't have to write the y value. Just x equals 1, x equals 3.
All right. Is everybody good with that one? Oh. Okay. Guys, remember What's the strongest correlation? Do you guys agree? Remember, we have 3 types of correlation. What are they? Positive, negative, and
Neutral.
no correlation. Okay. What's the strongest correlation? 1. Now, is there any difference between that? Mm-mm. Correlation-wise, no. These are the same. Okay. These are the strongest correlation. Doesn't matter if it's positive 1 or negative 1. Doesn't matter if my correlation is like this or like that. Okay, now, so isn't this close to negative 1? What does it say? That's a strong correlation, right? Now, I think, didn't we talk about this, Mr. Westwell? I think anything 0.6 or above is strong to them. Okay? So this is considered strong. Is this a strong correlation, 0.1? No. That's weak. What about 0.2, guys? Weak. 0.9, very strong. 1, the strongest you can get. There's your 2 weak correlations. Doesn't matter positive or negative, guys. Do you guys understand that? Okay.
Something before we move on. I know we didn't have time to do this. I just want to talk about it. We didn't have time to do too much of the statistics stuff at all. I don't know how much you've learned in other classes. Do you guys know how to find the mean of something?
Yeah, the only thing is like the smaller screenshot.
What if I want to find the mean of all your grades?
Mean, you combine, you add everyone,
Average.
divide by the same number.
Good. It's an average. Average. Okay. Median.
Good luck on the test, guys.
The numbers in order and then go to
The middle.
Yeah.
But the numbers have to be.
You know, I think a great example of these are, think of the amount of money people earn in the United States. Okay? Let's pretend Elon Musk, he's in the United States. Okay? I don't know if he's a citizen or not. But what's his income? You guys know who Elon Musk is, right?
Yeah.
What's his income going to do to the mean? Brings it way up. What is someone who makes $0 per year? It's gonna break it down, but which one's gonna affect the mean more? Elon Musk for sure, right? Let's say the average income is $40,000 a year. Someone 0 isn't gonna affect it nearly as much as he is at trillions of dollars a year. Do you agree? Do you agree with that? Now, what about median? Median is you take someone who earns $0 a year, you take Elon Musk over here, you put them all in order, and you go, median is the middle number. Do you see how this person counts just as much as this person in the median? Do you understand that? So the median score is that, okay? The range of this data set would be from 0 to whatever Elon Musk makes. That's called the range of the data, okay? The standard deviation is a measure of, it's a measurement from the center. It's a measurement of error, okay? So like if there's a large standard deviation that tells you this data has a ton of spread, it's not a very good like balanced data set, okay? If you had this kind of graph where there's a lot of people that score, like say this is a test average, there's not very many A's, there's not very many F's, there's a lot of B's and C's. Okay, would you agree with that's what this would mean? Okay. Standard deviation would be like, okay, how much of this data is it within one standard deviation from the mean? Okay, it's a measure of spread. All right, we can't really get into it much more than that. But keep in mind just those kind of things as you read that. We didn't have time to review that much with that. I don't know why they put statistics on here, to be honest. It's an algebra test, but that'll at least give you a fighting chance. Guys, listen, do your best, please. Do your best on this. Make sure you go to Desmos whenever you can. All right, that'll be helpful for you. One last thing, and you should listen to this. This is a standardized test where they want to see the highest of the high, what they can do, and they want to see the lowest of the low. The average on this test is not really high. So when you get to a question that you're like, you know what, I've never seen that before in my life. That's what this kind of test is. There's going to be some questions you've never seen before. Don't let that stress you out or keep you from getting the next one right that you should get right. All right? Don't get hung up on any problems you don't know how to do.
Wednesday, right?
Tomorrow and Wednesday.
Right.
Make sure your laptops are fully charged tonight and restarted in the morning.